Hi everyone, welcome to Last Minute Coders. My name is Vinay. In last video we learned how to create Canvas app and we learned about controls, their functionalities, properties and so on. In this one we are going to create a form with a proper UI. So this is the form that we are going to create. So for this project I have created a blank app with the name form UI. Okay. And this is our blank screen, blank canvas. In this we are going to build this form, right? So let's start. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon also so you don't miss any upcoming update on this tutorial series. Okay, so let's start. So we are on this screen. So before building this UI, let me tell you one more important control in our Canvas app. So if you go to this insert, inside this insert, see this 1 2 3 4th one, layout. If you click on this layout, we have this container with us, the last one. Okay, so you might be wondering what are containers. So just like our screen, in our screen, see this was my screen, right? See, I'm on my screen. If I go to this, I can have a set of like these are the set of controls, right? I can have set of controls inside my screen, right? So in the same way I can have this set of, see, if I just do, let me delete this one. So if I just do Control X, I'll cut it from here, and if I paste it inside that container, so this container also can contain a set of controls inside it. But what make it unique, that it has its own properties. Okay, so it has its own property. Let's say I have this thing inside like this. See, now again and again I don't want to move like first this then this. Okay, so what we can do is we can just simply select our container and see this. Okay, so in this way, like, container is very helpful for us, like when we are building the UI. So we will start with this container. Let me delete everything first. See, I'm on my screen. I'll click on insert, head over to layout, again select this container. You can rename this container as form container if you want. Okay, so we are on the form container. Now let me give it some color so that you will get better idea. See, I have this container. Now you might be thinking like there is some gap from this x-axis, there is some gap from y-axis. Okay, so what is from where this gap is coming? So if you head over to this property section, see this 40 is written here, right? If I write something like 500, so x-axis gap is now 500. If I do 200 from y-axis, so see, the gap from y is 200. If I do 0 from here, see, there will be no gap from x-axis. If I do 0 from here, so no gap from y-axis. Okay, and to make the width dynamic, I could do this, like manually slide this, but see, this is not dynamic. It has some value, right? 1366. But maybe I am on the bigger screen. My screen size is way too big. Okay, so it will not cover in that, right? Let me just show you. If you go click on this display, okay, and if you turn this scale to fit off, okay, and see this, if I now play the app, even though I have manually have done this, but if I play the app, see, when I'm playing, there is the gap from here, right? Now how to get rid of this gap, how to make this dynamic? Just click on this width and say parent dot width. This is the formula. By default, whatever screen I am on, it will take the width of that. Okay, now let me play the app and see, this time it is covering the whole screen. Okay, so this is done. Same way we can, if we wanted to make the height dynamic, if I wanted to make this height like this, complete the whole area. Let me play the app. Maybe here you are seeing that, okay, it is for height, it is working fine, but if we are watching this app on TV, let's say, which has a huge screen size, so it may not be possible that its height is 768 pixels. It may be more, right? So in order to make this also dynamic, we can say parent dot height. So now this thing is dynamic. For any screen size, this will always cover the whole parent width and parent height. Okay, so parent is nothing but that device that we are playing this app on. Okay, in this case, because this screen will play on the device. Okay, now we are here, right? Let me change its color back to transparent. Okay, so now we are inside this form container. See, I've clicked on this, we are inside this. So see, firstly, if you see this UI, we have the SemiCircle up here, right? So how to build the SemiCircle in Power Apps or in Canvas app? Just head over to insert. Let me close this. We have shapes, right? In previous video also I have shown you. So you have circle. Just select the circle. Make its x as 0, y as 0 for now. And its width, say parent dot width. Okay, sometimes this formula takes a little bit long. Okay, let me rewrite it again. Parent dot width. Okay, and for its height, if I say something like this, parent dot height. So see, it is maybe like an eclipse but not a circle. For circle we need to have a equal radius, right? If I mark this as a center, so from here to here its radius should be same. How we can make that? So instead of like for width doing parent dot width, we could simply say parent dot height only, so that both are like 768. Okay, all right, we can do something like this. So this is fine. Okay, now to center align this. Okay, like center, instead of like manually center aligning this, we have one formula. Go to its X property, do something like this, parent dot width divided by 2 minus self dot width divide by 2. Okay, so parent dot width, like this is the whole parent width, right? From here to here, this. So the circle parent is this form control, and this form control parent is this screen. Okay, so circle parent is this form control is this whole screen, right? So this start from here. If I divide by 2, and if I divide this by 2, like this whole width by 2, so this area, so it will start from here. Just think it like logically. You can use a pen, paper. See, the half of this form is this here. See this dot up here, and the half of this circle is this much part. So we are just subtracting this much part. See what is happening. If I again go to the circle, if I remove this, right? See, this is the half. Now we need to divide this part. See, from here to here. Okay, so we need to divide this subtract this part from it, and see, it will be perfectly aligned in the center. Same way we can copy this formula for width for its y property also. We can, instead of now this time width, I could say like height. Okay, again here also. Here, see, I don't need to center line this. I need to start it from the middle only, right? So see, now this is like perfectly aligned in the center. And if you calculate its radius from here to here, it is proper, right? So in this way you can build the semicircle. Okay, now inside this form we have this white area, and inside this we have our form, right? So let's build this. So for that, what we will do, we will create one more container. Instead of simply designing UI like controls inside it, so we instead what we will do, we will create one more container. Okay, so again head over to layout section, container, you can say like form body. Okay, you can say something like this, form body. Okay, so to center align this, you can just copy the code of this circle and paste it inside its X property. See, okay, for now let's keep its Y as this only. For its width, we can make it, see, if I give it some color, right, if let me give it some color, so that maybe a dark gray color. See, if I increase its width, even though I increase its width, it will always remain in the center. See how dynamic this is. So even if we like do this, so it will always remain in the center. Fine. Okay, so what is the width of this? So the width of this is parent.width, right? So let me copy this. Inside this, for this width also, I'll say parent.height for this container width, and from it I'll subtract maybe like 200. Okay, so I'll subtract 200 from it. Okay, so in this way we define its width. And see, height I can do like this. Let's see this one first. Okay, till here it is, right? So height, either we can do like this, but again this is not the recommended way to do like this. In order to make this height dynamic, what we can do is go to its height property, say something like this, parent dot height. So if you do so, it will take the parent height, and it is starting from 40, right? So this 40 gap you are seeing up here, so just subtract the self dot y from it. Okay, so self dot y is what, this 40. Okay, so self is what, self is this container itself. Okay, and we will subtract, like, now we could give some like static values. Let's say subtract 50 pixels from it, let's say subtract 100 pixels from it. Now it is up to us, so that it will remain dynamic in whatever screen we are on. Okay, so once like this is done, let me give it some white color only. And for this screen, go to this screen, give this screen like little light gray color. Okay, we will give this light gray color so that we could distinguish our container from it. So this is our screen, this is our form container one. Inside it we have the semicircle and this form body. Okay, now inside this form body, what the first thing we need this thing, our label. For our company we need label and logo, right? So for that we can go to this popular, we have this text label, right? So just select this text label. Okay, make its x as 0, y you can make it as 0. Okay, width, see, label to parent is what, this form body, right? So if I do now the formula like this, parent dot width, see, so it will take width of this container, not the whole. Okay, so take the width of this container. Okay, height we can make it like maybe 100. Okay, height is no issue, but for width we have to make it dynamic. To center align this, see this text alignment, align center. We can align this thing to the center. For, let's say, I'll give my channel's name to it, LMC, or maybe let me give full name, last minute coders. Okay, something like this. See, so if we see this UI, so there is like Alexander, then next line county. Okay, so to give the next line up here, so if you click on this text, see, you see your text up here, right? Let me increase the size of it a little bit, so that, okay, maybe 18. Okay, now it is okay. Okay, so see this. I made it semi bold. Font size is 18, center align. Okay. So to give a next line, see this. This is what? This is a string. Inside double quote, whatever you write, this is a string. To concat anything to the string, see, I can use this ampersand sign and then I can say like LMC. Okay, so I can do something like this, but how to give the next line? Okay, so for that we have this char 10. Okay, so we have this char 10 and then we have to use this ampersand sign. So see this next line, we got this next line, right? So in this way you could give next line, use this function char and then inside char use 10. Okay, so this is the inbuilt function to give next line in Canvas app. Okay, so this is done. Now we have given our company logo. Now let's give it some like our icon. Okay, our company, sorry, this is our company name. Now let's give company logo. Go to media, add an image. Okay, so we have this image, right? So head over to this, see this image, go to this none, click add an image file and select your company logo. Let me select mine. So once you selected this, see, if I drag it manually, always note that if you wanted to make this circular, first thing first, make its border radius as 100. Okay, now by default like this is fine, but see, if I do something like this, you see up here its alignment is ruined now. So why it is ruined? So you need to make sure whatever your width is, height should be like this, or whatever your height is, your width should be the same. Okay, so for now I have this thing, right? The height of this is 100. So let's make this as 80. Okay, 80. See, perfect circle, right? Now you might be wondering why I did 80. Okay, so this is 100. This text, if you see this label, so this is 100, its height is 100. See up here, its height is what? 100. Now to center align this also, so you will understand in a better way if I give some color to it first. See this, if I give this color, see this is 100, this is 80, this logo is 80, right? So to start to center align this, what we can do, we have that formula, right? Parent dot height divide 2 minus self dot height divide 2. So why like now it is starting from here? Because we have written parent. What is the parent of it? Its parent is this form body. So do we need on basis of this of its parent? No, right? We need to align this based on this label. So we will say label 2 dot height divide by 2, label 2 dot height divide by 2 minus self dot height divide by 2, and see, it automatically center align itself based on this this label height. Okay, so for now let us give this some light color. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, so that we could distinguish. So we have our logo also, right? Okay, so once like this is done, then we have this thing, time of request. So simply again go to your form body, or you have this label, right? Just copy this label, paste this label. Okay, so this label is starting just below of this. For its x, I'll say start from 0. For its width, I'll say parent dot width. Okay, for its height, I'll say 40. For its size, I'll say 16. And for the text inside it, I'll just remove everything. And what was the text again? Time of request. So I'll just type here time of request. Okay, let's wait. Okay, so this is done. I'll make it as like normal font. Okay, so this is done, right? This is done. So time of request is done. Okay, now what else we have? We have like your name, then inside your name, first name, last name, like this kind of thing. So we can build that. The best way to like build this, like we have this container, right? Inside it also we can create multiple containers. See, if I contain, like, let's say this is my header container. Okay, if I do something like this and say this is header container, okay, and if I align this container like to the top, or maybe like this, I define its height as 100, okay, and its width as parent dot width. Okay, I define its, okay, so this is fine. And instead of we have these two things, right? Let me just cut it, let me paste it inside this, and this time again some of the formulas are maybe messed, so this one is fine, width is fine, okay, height is okay. Okay, so now we could just head over to this header container and we can give it some like background color, right? And see, this, even if this is white, I can go up here, make this as transparent, and see, good, right? Now you might be thinking like, see this again, like this is not center aligned. Okay, if we compare these two things, so these two are not center aligned. How to center align them? So if I select this one, see what is the width of this is like 80, and if I select this one, so what is the width of this? Maybe 270. Let's take it as 270. So to center, if I was center aligning this thing, if I was center aligning this with this, so I was just center aligning this text, not this image. To center align these two, what you need to do is, firstly make this x as 0. Instead of like this formula, make this x as 0. And now we have this, right? So just copy this image 1, select this thing, go to its x property, remove this code, now paste this code, something like this. See now what will happen. So the second one, now this is based on this. See, if I move this up here, this will automatically align itself because this is based on this. Okay, so this image, now this is based, if I move this up here, so see this will move. So what is the formula? Image1.x. So image1.x, like from here to here, this distance and then this width, and it is starting after this. So kindly note this formula. So I just need to align like this to the center. What I'll say, firstly this is fine, parent dot width divide by 2. But if I do something like this, subtract self dot width, see, divide by 2, it is not going to work because it will just align this thing to the center. I need to take this into the consideration as well. Okay, so in this formula what I'll do is, I'll say just add this label 2 dot width as well to it and just divide the whole thing by 2. So see, now they both are center aligned. Whatever screen size you are on, they will always be center aligned, right? I know like this is, I am explaining like each and everything, and it is going to be a long video, but in a long run it will be very helpful for you. Okay, when designing the UI you need to think of ahead. Okay, most of you, what you will do is you will just simply like drag and drop, and when you are developing app for companies, for businesses, like they will not accept that poor UI. So your UI should be like dynamic for any screen size. Okay, so this is fine, this is also fine. Let me give this some unique color. so that we could distinguish each and everything. So this is done. This was my header container. This was my simple label. Okay, inside this form body. Now what else things we have? We have this your name and this thing, right? Again, for this also we can have a container or we cannot have a container. It's up to you. Now you just you understood, right, how to create container. You can create container, like one container for this your name, one container for email address, one container for this. I'll be not doing that. I'll just simply here only I'll just insert like one more text label. One text label is this. Let me just copy this, paste this again, copy paste again. So this is what, let me do it now quickly. So your name I'll say, and an asterisk sign, and this is what, this is first name, this is what, this is last name. The quickest way to design is firstly have everything. See this your name, first name, last name, then we need two input boxes, right? Just head over to insert, this is input box. So see this, now it has placed in the wrong place. Press Ctrl X, press Ctrl X again. Okay, so paste this inside this body. So okay, this is done. Now let me again copy this, paste this again. Okay, so this is done. Or rather, just firstly delete this. See this, by default, if you click on this default, see it has this text input. Just remove everything from it. Okay, I removed everything from it. And see, if I play this, if I hover over this, see this, like its color is changing, right? So if you don't want its color to change on hover, you could just see this, click on this, hover, see this hover color, and the second one, just make this as transparent. Okay, now this time if we go up here, see this, and if I'm clicking on this, it is highlighting. If you don't want this highlighting, what you can do, you can just select this and go up here. See, we have this focus border thickness. So what is your border? My border is 2. See up here, this is 2. And when I'm like focusing it, when I'm clicking on it, it is becoming 4. So just keep this as 2. See, this time if I'll click, nothing will happen, right? And isn't that what we want? Is there a border here? So see, there is no border. Okay, there is no border, so we also will give no border to it. So whatever you are giving up here, see, if I am doing 0 here, so I need to do 0 here also. Okay, and there was some background color to it, so let me also give like this background color. See, fine, right? So this is done for now. Let me press Ctrl Z. For its height, we will keep its height as maybe 40. Okay, and I'll just paste it here. Okay, once like this is app build 1, okay, I could just simply copy paste it now. Okay, so this is like first name, last name. What else? We need email address. Okay, so let me copy this, paste this again. I'll rename this to email and put a asterisk sign after it. Okay, so this is email. I'll again copy this, paste this, and this is email. Let me increase the size of it. Okay, what else? We have start date, end date, and okay, so start date, end date, copy paste. This is start date. This is let's keep them here. Start date, end date. We will just do a little bit thing. Number of hours total. Last we have number of hours total. Okay, so here number of hours total. title. Okay, so this is done. Let's increase the size of it. This is like a start date. This is like end date. Okay, so start date is done, end date is done. Okay, for date in Power App, in Canvas app, we have this date picker, right? So we will utilize this date picker. Let me drag this up here. Okay, and for its UI, let's see up here. So see, maybe this we can't build like this up here, right? So we have to utilize what's inside our Power App or our Canvas app. So I'm just utilizing this instead of like creating that thing. So this is fine. And if you want to change its color and all, you could see if we play this, if I click on this again, for him also, like if I am selecting this, see this border increases, right? If again you don't want this border increase, just select this, go to focus border thickness. Okay, make it as 2 only, whatever your border is. So your border is this thing, right? And if you want to change this color, maybe like maybe this one. Okay, see, this is the border. Okay, the border is fine. Okay, so to change like this color, we have one property up here, chevron, or maybe icon fill. See this icon fill. So see, there is some RGB written here, right? So what we can do is just select this border, go up here, see this RGB 0, 134, 208. If I write something here, 0, 134, 208, and then 100. Okay, so that this is fine. The white color is of this icon. See this icon, there is one calendar icon, so that is of that. Maybe icon background. For icon background, we can change. It was 0, 134, and 208 maybe. Okay, so see, the color of this is changed, the color of border is changed. Okay, so if I select on this, so this color we can't change as of now. I think last time I checked, we could not change. Reason because see, even if I'm like, if you want to click on this, like if you click on this, it automatically select, right? But if you press Alt, say, it will simply work as you play the app. When you play the app, right? So it is like this, right? So if you wanted to play the app without hitting on this play button, so you could just press Alt of your keyboard and then. So see, when I'm clicking on this and I'm removing my Alt key, see this, it vanishes, right? So how to change the color of this? So there is no way. One way you could change is by changing the theme, but if you change the theme, each and every color will change, right? See here we have themes, so we could change the theme color. Okay, but every color will also change. Okay, so if you change the theme to red, so then this will be red. If this is okay, so this will be red. So like this you could do, but manually you can't change the color of this. Okay, so by default it is like this. Okay, for end date also we will just simply copy this, paste this. Okay, and paste this up here. If you are seeing this default date, right, if you don't want to see this default date, just go up here. There is one default date property. See, it is written today, remove it. Here it is also written today, remove it if you don't want. Now you might be seeing like this thing, so I think this is like helping text, or what you say, placeholder. Place. I don't think we have a placeholder in it. Default date zone. Okay, So this is just simply a placeholder. If we just play the app, we could select any date and see the difference. It is like darker black, right? So if you see this gray color, so this is just a placeholder. This is not the date selected. Okay. What a placeholder is, see the send text up here, right? If I write something like this first name, see, you will see this thing up here also, first name. So this is not the name. If I enter the name, see, this is like darker in color, but if I remove everything, so this is just a hint text that we can hint the customer like what you need to write up here. Okay, write the first name, write the last name, like that. Okay, so this is done. Let me just copy this, paste this, and UI wise I think we are done. We just need one button for now. Let me just select all of these. Let me align them a little bit up so that we could insert a button, and this is our button. Okay, we will place this button here, increase its size. Okay, see this border, if you keep the border radius as 0, so you will not see any border, but I think this one has some border radius, so we will also give like maybe 10. To change its color, you could simply just click on this, change the color. Okay, so see this border color is, it will change by default. Just select this code self.fill, go up here, see, once I'll play the app, see what will happen. Okay, see, if your app is not dynamic, what will happen? I played the app, see, this is like cutting, right? It is not displaying everything. See, that is why like you have to make your app dynamic. So for now, what we will do is just go to this hover color instead of this RGB, use self.fill. Why I use self.fill? Because if you use this previous code, and let me change this color to maybe green. Okay, so see, when I'm hovering over it, it is blue. But if I change this code to this thing, self.fill, see, now it will be green. Whatever color I'll change, I'll just need to change once. See, again and again, I don't need to like change everything. Okay, so I'll just change this color and everything will automatically done. Okay, so this is done. This is like submit request. The name of that button is submit request. So this is also done. Okay, so I think we are good. Okay, so let's align everything. Okay, now let's align everything. So first thing first, your name should come after this, and this should come after this. After we have this container, right? If I open this, we have this header container. After this header container, this label should start. You could just rename this label up here. You could say time of request underscore label. You could just rename it so that it will be easier for you to like know that this visual is associated with this control. Okay, so see, it's why it is like 100 up here, right? So to make this dynamic, what you need to do, you need to write something like this: header container dot y plus header container dot height. The same way you do for x, for y the code is just the same. From where this will end, right? From where this will end, this will start. So same way, write the code for this. See the yth property, if I say header, sorry, not header, this time we have this time of request. See this time of request label dot y plus, let me copy this, let me paste this, dot height. See, and if you need to give some like 20 gap, just add 20. See, this automatically gap will be there. Okay, once this is done, firstly select all the labels. I'll select all the labels. Okay, give their height as 40. Okay, so this is done. And to align their x, see, I'll select all of these. I'll say start with 20. So see this, they will start from 20. If I'll say start from 40, so they will start from 40. So let's keep 40 up here. Okay. And for their width, what we could say parent dot width. Okay, see, this is parent dot width, divide by 2. If we do something like divide by 2, or maybe divide by 3, okay, so you could do something like this. Okay, so let's divide it by 2.5. okay, or maybe if you don't want this, like you want it to cover 30% of its parent, so you could say multiply by 0.3. so see, this is 30%, this is 40%. like this is the best way. Okay, even if you wanted to give the x of these, just use this parent dot width multiply 0.1. so 0.1 means 10% gap, 0.05 means 5% of the gap. So in this way you could keep a note of it. See, this is like 0.5%. okay, sorry, this is 5%. my width of this is 40%. so 40 plus 5, 45. you can keep 5% gap from here, so that is 50. then again 40. okay, maybe 10% gap in between 55, then again 40, 95, and then 5 from here. It will make more sense when I'll do for this label. Okay, and okay, so this is done. Let me select this. Okay, like these control I have selected. For their x also, what I'll do is I'll say parent dot width multiply by 0.05. okay, so all will start from here. okay, so I'll now will select this. okay, and for their width I'll say parent dot width multiply by 0.4. similar as this. See, all of their width and their x are same. see, okay, and for this what I'll say parent dot width multiply. if I do 0.8, see, 0.8 is like 80%. this is 5%, so I need 5% gap from here, right? so that is 10%. so middle one, what should be 90%, right? 5, 90, 95, 5, 100%. so automatically it is in the middle. okay, now we will just align this. To align this, see this, that it should come after this, right? so just copy this text input name. so the name of this is text input 2. just copy this, head over this, go to its x property, write this code dot x dot width plus. now what you need to do, again do something like this, parent dot width multiply 0.1, 10% gap, and the width of this should be parent dot width multiply 0.4. okay, now you might be thinking like how I know like to do 0.1 here and this. okay, so 0.1 is what, 10%, right? so this is 10%, this is 40, this is 40. so just calculate 40 plus 40, 80 plus 10, 90. this is 5, 95. this is what, 500. so totally dynamic, right? totally dynamic. Now to align these two y's, right, we need to align this y based on this. From wherever this is ending, from wherever my label 3 is ending, these two should start. so just select these two, go to their y property and write this code. see this, they will start when this will end, right? see, now these two should start when like this end. So let me copy this again, select these two, I'll go to their Y properties. Here I will write something like this, right? Proper. Now its X should be based on this. From wherever this is starting, this one should also start from there. So there are many ways to do this. I'm not saying like there is just a single way only. The way I am doing, there are multiple ways. You could align this, but like I am just showing you the best practices. Okay, see this. Align this. I don't need helping text here because even anyways I am writing like first name last name up here, even though this is not necessary, but what we can say, like here it is like this, so we are just keeping this thing into consideration, and we will just select these two. I'll decrease its size, okay, or maybe height also. I'll decrease its height to 30 and change their color to maybe this lighter gray. Okay, see, automatically this will start to look good. So where this email should start, this should start after this label. So just copy the name of this label first, select email label, go to its Y property, see this dot Y. Maybe initially like this may look like tough to you, but if you keep on practicing this, it will eventually become very easy. See, so this email is aligned. Now just copy the name of this email, go to this one and go to its Y. Now paste this. See, from wherever my that is ending, like this email is ending, start this. Okay, so this is also done. Now where should this start date label start after this, right? So just copy this, select these two, okay, here. See how easy it is now. Okay, and if you want to increase its width also, say parent dot width multiply 0.4. okay, now this should start after this. Just copy the name of this, select these two, go to its Y property, do something like this. Okay, done. Now just select this, copy the name of this, to align this, go to its Y property. Okay, dot is missing, this I'll enter the dot. Okay, so this is fine. Now to align this, it should be based on this. Just copy this, go up here, do this. Okay, so this is aligned. Okay, now to align this thing based on this, just copy the name of this, go to your this button, go to its Y property, paste the code dot Y dot height. Done. And see, like there should be some gap, right? So just add a 20 up here. If you want, just add 20 so that there is some gap between these two. Now I'll select all of these and I'll make their height as 40. Okay, so each and every height is 40. I'll select these two as well and I'll make their height as 42. See, 40 40 40. This is done. If you wanted to change this height also, let me make it as like 50. Okay, its X is not aligned, so I'll just copy the X of this. I'll go up here, I'll go to its X. So this button should also start from that. Its width should be parent.width 0.9. Okay, perfectly aligned. Once this is done, right, everything, like this is my last thing. Once you know like this is my last thing, just copy the name of this okay button. Now you have this form container, right, form body, right? See this form body. So now what I'll do, I'll go to its height property. We have this formula, right? Now we will not use this formula. We will get rid of this formula and we will write this formula. Okay, See this. Now it is totally dynamic. Firstly, you were not seeing this button up right here, right? But now we are seeing, because we made this thing dynamic, right? This is, if you make your app dynamic, this app will work everywhere just fine, right? See this, how dynamic this is. Properly working, right? Here you can enter the name. Okay, and see, if I'm hovering over this, it is like going like white. If you do not want that, again just select these. Where is that? We have this hover color, right? So I'll select all of these first. Hover color, I'll say just make this color should be this color only. Okay, so now if I play the app, see, the color will not change. I can enter up here. See, if in number field I only wanted to, like, the user should not input anything else other than a number. Okay, so just make it as number. Okay, so now even if user will try to input anything else other than a number, they will not be able to. Only number will be accepted. For email and this thing, we can't do anything other than we can create like a regex for it. We can create some validation rules so that if the user input a wrong thing instead of email, so they will get some that error message. But in this one, I'll not explain that. In this one, it is just a simple, let me just enter the details in this form. See, start date maybe 1st June. Okay, end date maybe 30 June. So like this we have done, right? So functionality wise, this doesn't do anything for now, but you see, once I click on this, there is some additional border. If you don't want that border, just click up here again, focus, we have that, right? Focus border thickness, make this as 2. So see, now there is no extra border. Okay, once everything is done, always make sure to save your app. Okay, once you save your app, you will see the change of icon up here. Currently, like, it is trying to save, so we should let it save first. Okay, see, once it is saved, we see this icon. Now to publish this app, we have to click this publish button and we have to click on this publish this version. So once we publish this app, so what will happen is, now let me head over to my Power App home screen. Now I can just play this app on my mobile devices, tablet or my desktop. If I head over to this app section, you could also install the Power app on Windows if you want, but I won't recommend that. Even you won't require, you can just play your app in this browser only. But just if you want, like, you can do it. See, this is my app, right? So now I'll just play this. See, I click on this, fetching your app. It is trying to see. Oh, see, like this one is not dynamic. So let's make this also dynamic. How do we miss this? See, its X is like not dynamic. This X was dynamic. So let's, whatever this thing, right? I'll just copy this. I'll say whatever the X of this, the X of this should be the same. See, done, right? And for its width also, how do we miss? Its width is also like, we haven't made dynamic. Parent dot width multiply 0.4. Okay, multiply 0.4. Done. Let's save this. Once it will be saved, we will publish it again. Okay, we will republish this. Okay, and just wait for 5 minutes to see your changes in your app. See here, you will see the app is in development, and no, sorry, this one, a new version of this app is coming. We will let you know when it is available. So see, you are using the old version, click on refresh to get the new version. If you refresh this time, see the UI fixed itself, right? Now some of you might be thinking like this gap is way too much. So yeah, you can simply decrease this gap if you want. Just select these, just select this, or maybe just select this one, and instead of maybe just do 0.5. Okay, see, I did something like 0.5 for its width, and what we will do is I'll just select 1 2 3 4 for their width. I'll say 45. Okay, maybe 42.5. Okay, so yeah, 4 to 5. Let me just publish this. It will first save the app and then publish the app. With lots of practice, like I have written here 4 to 5. Again, some of you might be thinking why I've written like this. Okay, so just calculate this. This is 42.5, right? This is 42.5%. This is 42.5%. If I show you the calculator, right? See, just add this 42.5 plus 42.5. What is that? 85. Plus 5 gap is from here, 5 is from here, 5 is from here. So 5 into 3, 15. What is that? 100. So this will be automatically in the center. Okay. I hope I am making sense. So new version of the app is available now. Let's see. Now the gap is fine. Okay. Let's remove this. So this is how our app is looking. We can change color and all. We can make this circle big like this. Okay. We can make its corner as little bit round. Not an issue. Not an issue. But for this video, I think this is it. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this one. In next one also we will like design a different form, but that form will be way too bigger than this one. Like this one was was covered in this screen size only, but the next form will be way too big. So we will learn about vertical and horizontal container there. Okay, so I hope you learned something from it. Thank you so much. See you next time.